This is a place value grid, so as you can see we have our units, tens, hundreds and thousands column, and a couple of weeks ago we were looking at multiplying by 10 and 100. Just let me refresh your memories on what to do for that. So for example, here's our equation, 87 times by 10. So the first thing you need to do is you need to put your 8 into the tens column, you need to put your 7 into the units, and when you multiply by 10 you have to remember that you are moving your digits one space to the left. So we move our 8 into our hundreds, we move our 7 into our tens, but that leaves us with nothing in the unit, so we need to put a placeholder in. That's our 0. So 87 times by 10 is 870. Let's have a go at a different equation. So this one is 96 times 100. Now timesing by 100 is similar to timesing by 10, except that this time we're just going to move the number 2 spaces to the left because we've got 2 zeros there. So let's put in our 9 and 6. So our 9 goes into the tens column, our 6 goes into the units, and then we're going to move them 2 spaces to the left. So the 9 goes from the tens into the thousands, and our 6 goes from the units into the hundreds. And again we've got 2 columns with nothing in them, so let's put in some zeros for our placeholders. So 96 times by 100 is 9,600. So this week we've been looking at dividing a 1 or 2 digit number by 10 or 100. Now to be able to do this we have to use a slightly different place value grid. So let me get rid of this one here and let me introduce you to this one, because we've introduced the decimal point. So we know about the thousands, hundreds, tens and units, and then we have our decimal point, and we have a tenths column and a hundredths column. Very important that the children remember the ths at the end of this, because they're not hundreds, they're hundredths. And then if we have a look, what we were doing before, when we were multiplying by 10, we were moving the digits one space to the left. Now, dividing is the opposite of multiplying. So when we divide by 10, it's very similar, except we move the digits one space to the right instead. And instead of times by 100, instead of moving 2 spaces to the left, when we divide by 100, we move the digits 2 spaces to the right. So very similar rules, but just in the opposite direction. So let's have a go at this. My first equation that I'm going to try and solve is 9 divided by 10. So very simply I'm going to put my 9 into the units over here. And now when we divide by 10 we're going to move it one space to the right. So I take my 9, move it one space to the right, but it still looks like a 9. So what we have to do is we have to show that we haven't got anything on our units. We use a placeholder, and then we need to insert something else just to show that it's in the tenths column. And we have to remember to put in a decimal point there. So 9 divided by 10 is 0.9. Let's try that with another number. Let's put in the number 7. So if we wanted to do 7 divided by 10, we would move, let's have a look at our dividing, we would move our digit one space to the right. So the 7 is going to go from our units into our tenths, and then to show that we haven't got any units left, we're going to put in a placeholder. So 7 divided by 10 is 0.7. Let's have a go at dividing by 100. Now we've got 68 divided by 100 here. So once again, it's very similar to the multiplying, except we're just going to move the digits in the opposite direction. So when we divide by 100, we're going to move the digits 2 spaces to the right. So first of all, let's put in the number 68 into our place value grid. So 6 goes into the tens and 8 into the units. And now we just need to move them 2 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we need to show that we haven't got any units, so there's my placeholder, there's my 0. So 68 divided by 100 is 0.68. And that is how you divide a 1 or 2 digit number by 10 or 100.